Good morning, crafters. We're going to be making this really super cute nested scallop frame slimline card that I turned into a shaker. This is going to be a quick and fun, easy card to make, and we're going to be using this nested scallop frame die from Kscraft. So let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, crafters. So today I'm going to be making a winter card. And I want to use Kscraft's Nested Scalloped frame die. And I really think this is super cute. But what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to turn it into a shaker. So I've already started cutting some of the pieces. Now, the paper collection I'm going to be using today is Photo Plays for the Love of Winter. So I'm actually cutting this a few times just because when I'm creating a shaker, I need to stack up my layers. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my base paper, which is this beautiful wood color right here. So let me show you that right there. And then you're going to create 3 more of these, and you're going to be using this very thin foam paper that you can get from your local craft store. This is just a Michael's Creatology foam sheet. And I believe this is about 1/8 inch thick, okay? I don't think it says that on here, but I'm pretty sure that's about it. So I made 3 of these, and that's because I want to stack it up pretty high. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my glue, and I'm going to glue these 3 frames together and as straight as possible, okay? And then I'll come back and we'll glue on the top. Okay, but one thing I do need to do before I do that is I need to create my acetate window. So what I'm going to do is get out my acetate paper, but first of all I need to make kind of like a faux sketch of this. I'm going to go ahead and kind of just basically do a quick outline of this, okay? And I only need to do the outside. So that's what makes it really easy, because I want my plastic window all to be one piece. Okay, or my acetate window. Okay, so I'm just going to go all the way around this. And I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this while I'm cutting, because I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me cut. Okay, so I did a rough cut of the frame, just so you know, you don't have to do the little scallop things. You just want enough to make sure that everything is covered when you are using your plastic sheet, because if you have any holes, your sprinkles are going to come right out, okay? So what I did was, I don't know if you can tell right here, but I have my acetate sheet here, and I also have what I want as underneath my shaker, which is these cute little log cabins. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hold this in place, and I'm going to start cutting around this. attaching your acetate sheet to your frame right here, you just want to make sure that you use a glue that's going to dry quickly. First of all, I need to make sure that this is in the right way, and it wasn't. Okay, so I'm just going to line this up here. And I do have quite a bit of overcut, and that's okay. What you're wanting to do is make sure that it's on here correctly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over and then move that right there. So you have a choice to use a very thin double-sided sticky tape, which I'm not going to use today. Today I'm going to be using this Zig two-way acid-free glue. This dries very quickly, and it's very clear, and it's not as messy as the white glue. So I'm just tapping it on here because I want it to stay very wet. And you want to make sure you go around all the nooks and crannies, because whatever you don't, it will lift, and then your little sprinkles will come out. I do want to move this out of the glue area that I was just gluing. So I'm going to move it up a little bit, and I'm going to wipe up this glue really quick. Okay. Sorry. Grab some towels. Okay, now I'm going to have to work pretty quickly now. Just going to try to line it up. And that looks pretty darn good. And I'm going to press down pretty hard. I'm going to use another piece of paper so that I don't get my fingerprints all over it. Okay, now I can use my fingernail and just kind of make sure I run along here pretty smoothly. Okay, now all I have to do is trim around the edges and clean those up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so off camera, I went ahead and glued my 3 foam frames together for my layers, and then now I'm going to go ahead and add my glue to the back of my acetate, and of course I have my top layer. All right, and so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and hopefully I'm praying that this is going to stick pretty good. This edge really fast. Okay, I think I've got it. I can move this a little forward. And gently tap it into place. Now it's kind of hard because you know the foam kind of stretches out as you're working with it, and that's just one of the unfortunate side effects of foam. But foam is a lot better than cutting out a gazillion pieces. So I'm just going to flip this over. And press down. And now I'm just going to let it dry in place. I'm going to add something heavy on top, probably like a book, and then I'll come back once it's dry. Okay, I found these really cute I Love Coffee and Coffee Espresso Latte buttons, and I clipped off the little backing, and then I went ahead and created a little bit of shaker elements to kind of stick in here, and I'm just going to keep them close to the center because I don't want them to have any issues of sticking. So I'm just going to keep those all in there and kind of pile them up a little bit or around my little piece here, trying to stay away from wherever the frame portion is going to be. All right, let's try that. Still need to take a few more out. So, I mean, it's just basically kind of guessing back and forth what you need. And then once you have that figured out, you can go ahead and glue your frame down. That looks good, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that down, and then I'll be back. Now that we finished our nested frame shaker, we're going to go ahead and start on making our Slimline card. So if you already have the Slimline die, you can go ahead and fast forward through this little section. I try to make it as close to the size of the Slimline die, but I'm not even 100% sure. So anyway, this one is going to be 8.5 inches by 9 1/4, and then on the 8.5 side you're going to score at 4 1/4, and then you're going to fold on the score line and burnish that in. So I'm going to set that aside for a moment, and then for my decorative paper or pattern paper, your base, this is if you want to layer it, it's going to be 9 inches by 4 inches. And then I have my lighter color at 8 3/4 by 3 3/4. Now, if you want to go ahead and pop this up, you can, and I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to flip this over. Just going to add my foam tape. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to visit Kscraft at the AliExpress store. She also has dies available on Amazon, and I will have those links down below. And I had so much fun creating this card, and I hope this inspires you to start making your winter cards now. So thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful and fabulous day, and see you next time.